Welcome to episode 42 of Slice and Dice Dreadcast. This is Joey Colombo coming in from Brooklyn, New York, here to celebrate another round of discussion on the chopping block with my man J-Mac.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, buddy. We got our man up north, BC, Bill Casanelli.
Hey, I'm freezing up here.
And we are gonna talk some Black Mirror. Let's get right down to business, folks. You know, we dropped an episode earlier in the week. Now we're gonna I think this might come out Friday. We'll see if I get the thing done tonight. But anyway, regardless, we got two quick episodes. Boom, boom, in a week span that we got out, and it's nice to be back here talking to the airwaves, talking to my people, and not covering straight horror. Although you know we love it. But what do we got tonight, J-Mac?
Tonight we're going to be talking Alfred Hitchcock's Rope and Black Mirror's episode Crocodile.
Yeah, buddy. So that's season 4, episode 3, Crocodile, Black Mirror. We suggest that you watch it because we're going to talk spoilers, but we'll throw you a heads up before we actually do. So any announcements, any house cleaning we got to take care of before we get into Black Mirror?
Not on my end.
Good to go. We got no antipasto over here. It's like not like the horror mafia.
Nah, not there's anything left to talk about. Being we've been shooting the shit for fucking 2 hours already. Before we start recording.
I woke up at 9:30, got online at like 10:15. Now it's 11:45, and an hour and a half later we're live. So that's how we do, though. We love it, It's the camaraderie of the fam. So let's do this, man. All right. Well. Real quick, next week's episode, if you want to skip to that whenever it comes out, we're going to drop Black Mirror Season 3, Episode 1, Nosedive, and then tackle 2 featured films in Unfriended and the 2018 recent sequel, Unfriended Dark Web. So stay off the dark web until then, folks. So Black Mirror Season 4, Episode 3, Crocodile. Let's tackle that first because I went balls deep again. And for the people watching on YouTube, here's my notes. Let's do it.
So you want to do Crocodile first now?
Let's do it.
Oh, wait. We decided Rope off the air?
Yeah, we literally just had this conversation before you went. I'll do whatever, Joe.
I'll do Rope. I'm smoking dope. Who cares? Let's do it. Rope, rubber-dub, 3 men in a internet tub. All right, let's kick it into Rope. Fuck it. Here we go. 1948 Rope. BC, you got the dilly on this one?
I sure can. Give me a second to look it up.
That's a Patreon tier for Mafia. If you guys doing this from bathtubs,
in the bathtub. All right. Alfred Hitchcock's Rope, 1948. 2 young men strangle their inferior classmate, hide his body in their apartment, and invite his friends and family to a dinner party as a means to challenge the perfection of their crime. And this movie stars John Dahl as Brandon, Farley Granger as Philip, and of course, James Jimmy Stewart as Rupert.
All right.
That's what it says.
James Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, everyone knows him as Jimmy Stewart, right? Not James Stewart. It's like you see, It's a Wonderful Life. Jojo Paddles. It's not James Stewart. It's fucking Jimmy Stewart.
I've never seen it. I don't know.
Okay.
You never seen It's a Wonderful Life, Joe?
Nah.
To be fair, I've only seen it once, and that was in 1997.
1997. That was a good year. Good year, 97.
Yeah, James Jimmy Stewart.
So as for Jimmy Stewart, actually, this was I thought this was the first time I ever seen him in a movie, but then I realized Rear Window.
Yes.
But aside from that, I've never seen him. So I was actually like, this dude is freaking amazing. Like, I want to see I looked at his filmography and it's ridiculous. And I'm like,
dude,
no wonder
he fucking owned this movie, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. His presence. I mean, dude, they needed some, like, no wonder why he is, that's the thing. It's like one of those names that you've always heard, but you don't know because it was, dude, what he was like the 1940s. I mean, he died in 97, but you know, his career was like
the year I saw that movie.
oh, lovely. Like, you know, his career spanned from what, the freaking, you know, 30s all the way into the 80s, right?
Sure, yeah.
So, but you
Legend.
know,
He was a legend.
he's a legend. You know, I always heard his name. You know, same thing with the other guy. What's his name? Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh, Steve McQueen.
I don't know.
Or no, Dean.
James Dean?
James Dean. Yeah, James Dean.
Dean something.
Steve McQueen is what's that movie? The Cars.
Hmm.
From the 60s. Cool.
Cars.
Cool Hand Luke. Isn't that?
Oh, Cool Hand Luke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right? No, that's Paul Newman. Anyway.
Oh, James Dean. I mean, James Stewart was in Cool Hand Luke. Yes.
Was he?
Yeah. Wasn't
James
he?
Stewart? I don't think so.
What?
No.
Picking up the steak off the floor. Wasn't that James Dean? I mean, not James Dean. James Stewart.
Gene. And another one, what's the name? Brock Hudson. You know that guy, Brock Hudson?
Brock? Is it like related to Rock Hudson?
Or his name's Rock Hudson. I'm Brock Hudson.
The beast incarnate.
Rock Hudson. Right? You know, I always heard of the guy, but like I don't think I've ever seen anything he was in.
Yeah, you probably know some guys he was in though.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, no, Jimmy Stewart was not in Cool Hand Luke. That was George Kennedy, Paul Newman, freaking Dennis Hopper. So yeah.
Yeah. So I've never seen any of the movies of these like classic iconic actors from I guess we would call the golden era of film. I don't know if that's the actual name for it, but
I would think so.
That's what it was like the golden era of comic books back then, right? Is that what they call it? The golden era of comic books? Bill, don't you know comic books?
Yeah, I didn't know who you were asking though. Actually, that would be the Silver Age, but yes.
Yeah, but something like that, right? So, anywho, let's kick it in 1948, right? So now we're covering Rope, and I've never seen this, but you guys have, so it was a first-time watch for me. And I'm watching the movie, and the credits rolling, and it's like, based on a play, and everything made sense. No wonder why he did it in one shot, right?
Well,
it's a react, but
gonna argue with that, but yeah, go ahead.
It just works like so fluidly, and the way he edited it was pretty fantastic, right?
Oh yeah.
Where he like zooms in on something, an object or a person's clothing to where it zooms out, and that's how you can edit it smoothly to where it looks like one fluid shot.
Yep. There's at least two scenes I noticed that.
So these are my notes of Black Mirror. Anyway, so Black Fangula
rope.
Oh man, it's been a while, guys. I'm a little greasy on the hosting. Dude, I was actually blown away by this. Because I said, you know what, I'm teaching modern drama next semester. How can I implement this into my class? Like, so I'm watching it while thinking, would this work for my class? And I think it would certainly fit the script. The problem is it's not easy to find this play.
No.
But it does all the things that a play is supposed to do, right? It follows the script, keep things in one place, keep the plot, focused on one thing, right? And man, I really enjoyed it. The time length is perfect. You're in. It literally, you flow through it just like the camera flows through that apartment, and it's over, It's interesting look at the elitist mentality, and to hear him talk about death that way, which we'll get to in a sec, I was just like, whoa. So I don't know how much of this was play dialogue-wise. I was just, this is like, dude, this is sick. I haven't seen a ton of Hitchcock. I gotta watch more Hitchcock.
It's also kind of like a black comedy too. When Rupert comes in and they're talking about killing somebody and how they would go about doing it. Like suspense right there, because you think, oh my God, does he know something's going on? And then he's like joking with them, being like, yeah, I would do this and this. And wow.
Right. So like in an interview, Patrick Hamilton, who wrote the play, right, 1929, he says, I wrote this play, to write a horror story that's going to make people's skin crawl.
That was it. It was making you go, God, don't look in that fucking trunk. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But that when they're talking about like how to kill somebody, and the old guy who happens to be the murder victim's father is like, I can't listen to this guy. This is horrible.
Yeah. Like one thing I was thinking about when I was watching this movie is this a timeless tale? Like, what if this was today? Like this, I think could still work. I think this is a timeless tale. Granted, things would be different with technology, like getting rid of the body and everything. But ultimately, I mean, we're gonna.
Yeah.
Now I know why these two episodes are put together. The movie and the episode. I mean, dude, to commit the perfect murder, right?
Yeah. Well, not only that, I'm kind of wondering why they had to mention, like, it was so embedded in the movie to say, but this happened in broad daylight as opposed to nighttime.
Yeah, because think about it, right? This was 1929 when the play was written, almost 20 years later when the movie comes out in 1948. And J-Mac, I want to get to you in a sec, because you haven't said anything. But the sunlight, right? Think about it, right? It's a major symbol here for, the light, right? Versus the yin and the yang. So when you commit this act in broad daylight, it's a lot more bolder. It makes a bigger of a statement and shows, that we could do it right here in broad daylight.
But that's just it, right?
Is when all the crime happens.
Right. Crime happened at night back then, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, crime happens all the time, but even now, like,
sure,
people don't go robbing cars in the middle of the day like they do in the nighttime, right?
Sure they do.
They do, but not like in the nighttime.
All right. I'll give you that.
Sun goes down, bro. That's when the shit gets crazy, man. Come on, New York. What are you kidding me? I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Of course, people get their car robbed during the day, but at night you get a lot more, not carjackings, but car burglaries.
True. What I mean is, like, they were shocked, like something could happen during the daytime in this movie. Like,
right, of course,
in broad daylight. Wow,
But at the same time, it was in an apartment. It wasn't like you did it in the fucking.
It wasn't in the middle of a fucking intersection.
From here to Tiananmen Square. Yeah, motherfucker. All right. So anyway, J-Mac, go into Rope, baby, because this is your. I believe this was your selection for the episode.
No, it was mine actually, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Bill. Recently on an episode of Mafia, Bill mentioned Rope. I think it might have been when you guys were doing Psycho. And I was like, oh, I love that movie. And I remember you saying on that episode you'd never seen it. And then we started doing this, and I was like, these would fucking be cool together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this I seen. I was probably in my late teens, early 20s the first time I seen this. And back then I wasn't watching movies the way I do now. And I still was like fascinated by this.
Dude, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
Just the whole like idea of it being one long, drawn out fucking scene, almost the way it was filmed and everything. Like, I wasn't watching movies back then like, oh, look at the way this was filmed. It was just like, this is the story. And I caught on that back then. And then just watching it now, for this episode specifically, when they're doing that, having that whole dialogue about, killing and the inferior and the superior and all this bullshit, I was like, dude, this is like a precursor to The Purge.
Yes. I said the same thing. I gotta cross that off my notes.
But yeah, but I did really, I love this movie. I've seen it quite a few times. This is one that it was, I think I was talking about either Psycho or The Birds or something. My mother back then, she was like, "Oh, you ever see Rope?" And she was like, "Nah." And we ended up finding it somewhere and putting it on and watching it. And I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
Mm-hmm.
So
I learned something too this time. Well, two things actually I learned. First thing I learned is that, obviously, when you make a movie in one shot, you can't, because you have to load film in the camera. So I found that there was at least two spaces in the film where they actually edited the movie so well where you can't tell if they actually did cut. And it was done brilliantly, by the way. And the actor who was killed getting out of that fucking box in the beginning. So there was like a magician. The second thing, huh?
No, go ahead, Bill. I'll let you finish.
Well, the second thing I noticed is that the guy who played Philip, the guy who played the piano, remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys realize who that is?
That plays Philip?
Yep. I realized it last night.
Can't say that I do.
All right. The guy who was like scared to be caught, not the main bad guy, his accomplice.
Yeah, the friend.
He is none other than Farley Granger, the guy who played the killer in The Prowler. Tom Savini, 1981, dude.
Really?
That was The Prowler.
Farley Granger, huh?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. And another thing I picked up on, back then I had no idea. As a kid, I seen the movie a billion times. I didn't think anything twice. Now I kind of realized like there's a homosexual undertone like that they couldn't do back then.
In this?
Yeah. They apparently this movie was banned in a few states because of the implied homosexuality between Philip and Brandon.
I never caught that until this time I watched it. Like, wow.
Let me ask you guys because I never thought of it.
Blow my mind right now.
I never thought of it on the first watch or anything, and then just through liking the movie and hearing different things, that whole aspect of it had come up. But doesn't Brandon say something to Janet about you went from me to Kenneth, then to David?
Yep.
So are they trying to say that he was a homosexual but still dated Janet at one point?
I think so.
Oh yeah, he definitely was with.
He was with Janet.
He was with Janet, that, right? Yeah, without a doubt.
And it was kind of creepy the way he tried to set them up, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, see, I thought it was creepy that they were hanging out with their headmaster and had such this relationship with him. That definitely, I was a little like, but I was like, it's at the time. It's the way like it was kind of schools like were like, headmaster, yeah, and a fucking like boarding school leader.
Well, I took it as like they were the Three Stooges, like the three guys, like the Musketeers, whatever. They always hung out, played pranks, did their shit. And it was a big, like their big mistake was inviting Rupert to the fucking party. That was their big mistake. Because the dude was a lot smarter than they anticipated. But I think they were trying to do that to show, I mean, to be, what's the word? To be above David, like to show, hey, look, we're flaunting the fact that we killed him and we're doing this to spite you. And they didn't intend for him to pick up on it so quickly.
Nah. Yeah, it was, I think, a braggadocious thing, especially being that he was like the mentor who kind of put this in their mind in the first place.
Exactly. When they had that conversation about murder, I think that's what sparked their idea.
Wow.
Now, let me ask you guys this. With Brandon saying what he said to Janet about you went from me to Kenneth to David, do you think his motive was strictly that he felt that David was inferior to him and he should be able to kill him? Or do you think there was a level of jealousy there because Janet had moved on to this kid, David?
I think
who
both.
He mentions has a bigger bank account or something than Kenneth, and that's why he's really with them.
Sure. I think both, though.
How can you insult me like that?
Right.
Wow.
More like the guy David had a bigger dick than me. He's got more money than me. But at the same time, it's like I'm jealous that, like, yeah, I think both. Because he felt superior.
I didn't catch any. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, the homosexuality thing, but definitely, the whole themes of, what is art, what makes something art, like the art of death. Also, like the whole thing with like the superhuman and like Nietzschean philosophies, right?
They actually mentioned Nietzsche in the movie,
right,
yes.
Of course, they mentioned that shit. They mentioned the whole thing, like, with Hitler and the superhuman, right, and all that stuff. And they, committing the perfect murder via that and also via art. So it was like I caught all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like even says like playing God, you know? Like, do you think you were God, right? Do you think you were God? No.
But you didn't see like the parts where he's like touching Philip, like putting his arm around him and be like,
And
he's like,
hey,
no, not like that, but more like
I know, I'm fucking around.
yeah, I know. But he's more like he's the dude in the relationship. He's like, I'm in control.
Yeah, he's definitely dominant one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
Philip even says to him at one point, like, "You frighten me. You always have."
Right.
Yeah. Intense, bro. I didn't even think about that, you know, but of course, you're
In
not
48,
like,
you know,
yeah,
you can't say they're gay or lovers. You can't do that.
no, you got to wait till like 1985 for Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Oh shit! But yeah, it's a lot going on here, and like I said, it's definitely something that I'm interested in and interested in open up into my class next year, next semester, because I'm teaching modern drama, like I said before. And hey, if I could get Hitchcock into class, shit, why not?
Hey, why don't you explain why the movie's called Rope?
Because they use a rope to kill them.
It's not just that.
Of course not, but it's the whole psychological thing, right?
Yeah, well, before that, it's like the first thing they used, the murder weapon was a rope. And then he tried to get rid of the murder weapon by putting it around books to give away.
Yeah.
And then what does Jimmy Stewart come back with at the end? Oh, man. Fucking brilliant.
That I remember the first time watching it when those books came out with the rope tied around it. With the, I had the same reaction that Philip did.
Yes.
It was like,
what the oh, that crazy, is master man. Fucking direction and like making you feel scared.
Yeah.
You know, like you knew that like through the whole that big ass window in the back, and you had like the cityscape back there, like you know it's a set and it's fake, but the fact like the fucking it was going from day to night, and like even there was like smoke coming out of some of the
smoke. Yes.
Like it fucking just was so cool to me.
I agree. It's like you know it's a painting, and they're like putting lights on the buildings and like making it darker, and there's smoke coming out the smokestacks, and like all the magic involved because one take again. And like you got guys in the background doing everything there. Oh,
yeah,
I agree, man. So much work put into this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the way that they explained it was there was like 10 minutes at a time shot, right?
Yeah, I know the first take. At one point, the camera pans behind Brandon
on his back, right?
It fills this whole back, and like the screen is dark because it's supposed to be his back, and then it kind of rolls through, and fucking. That's like the next set of takes.
Right. But again, it's because you got to load film into a camera. It's not like you had like unlimited data, you know?
They said the film, the set pieces, almost all of them were on wheels because to move the camera around and the lighting equipment to do those like takes for that long, they would literally have to move shit out of the way while they were acting and stuff.
Yep. How many freaking rehearsals do you have to do that?
And they said that one of the things rolled over a sound guy's foot. And they literally had to like cover his mouth and pull him out of there. They had to do the whole scene over again.
Oh man!
And I think it's I guess David's aunt. It's supposed to be right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it's her. At one point, she goes to put a glass down and misses the fucking table. Apparently, somebody like off camera like dove and caught the glass before it hit the fucking ground.
Oh shit!
Man, I would love to see this in the commentary.
If, they fuck up once, they have to do that whole friggin' piece all over again from the beginning
and waste the film, right?
Yeah. So
I would love to see this movie, the commentary.
There's a documentary called Rope Unleashed. That they talk all about the stuff, and they talk about Hitchcock's cameo.
Oh, where is the cameo? I looked for it. I've never seen it in this movie.
Dude, he's a red neon sign in the fucking backdrop.
Really?
Get the fuck out of here.
I always looked for it. I could never figure it out.
It's like the profile of him, and then it's like underneath is the word reducto, which is that fictitious weight loss product from Lifeboat.
Oh man, that's awesome! I did not know. I learned something new. Thank you.
It's crazy, bro.
That was gonna be my big question for this: is where's the cameo?
Maybe I could do. Maybe I could do freaking Lifeboat.
And now it's tied into Lifeboat. Wow.
I could do Lifeboat in a modern of emergence of modern literature next semester because it's based off of a Steinbeck story.
Oh, Steinbeck's one of my favorites.
Yeah. George.
Tell me about the rabbits.
Tell me about the rabbits. Yo, John Dahl in this movie, fantastic.
Oh, what a good bad guy, right? What a dick.
Man. He was I want to see he played in Stanley Kubrick's Spartacus.
Really? I never
gotta
saw that.
see that shit. Have you ever seen that?
No. J-Mac?
Volkswagen? Nah.
Maybe that's something we'll have to visit.
You know I'm down.
This is Spartacus.
I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus.
You get Kirk Douglas in that one.
Yeah, with the guy with a watch. He has a watch on in the movie.
Yeah, something to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Dahl, he definitely also him. I mean him.
No, Jimmy Stewart's the fucking king of this movie.
Dude, the way he was circling around them like a shark and they were his prey.
Watching his face, watching them talk, right?
Yo, when he got the hat and had the initials,
dude, yes.
Your stomach falls out of your asshole.
It does. Yeah. It's great. Ugh.
And that's the thing about this movie. It's, dude, 1948. There's no blood, no gore. Like, this is straight thriller horror, psychological thriller horror. You know, like you're on the edge of your seat, like
suspense.
Yeah, even the death scene
in a chest in the middle of the room, and they're eating dinner off.
Right, they're eating off it.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite lines in the thing when he ends up in the chest and they get ready for the party, and Brandon goes and gets the candlesticks.
Yeah,
and fucking feels like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm about to make our art a masterpiece.
Yes,
bro.
And that's the thing. Like, is this?
It's art.
Art? Is there an art in killing?
Wow.
Like, who says people can't kill? What, a man who wrote a book called the Bible? Hey.
No, everyone should see this movie, even if you're like a fucking horror gore fan. See this movie.
But this is the thing, you know, what would, like, you know, our children's generation think of this film? Because we're the last generation of, you know, before social media,
right?
Before everybody had the attention span the size of a flea. You know, like, what would they think of this film? Would they enjoy it?
My daughter would love it. She loves black and white stuff and old Twilight Zones and shit. She would really dig it.
I think this movie, the pacing of it, like the dialogue, like it's almost nonstop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel, just because it's not gore and like action, there's enough going on to keep people's interest.
Yeah, you hear what they're saying and you're involved.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much quotable shit throughout this entire fucking movie.
Right.
You know, even when he's fucking, they first, just from the beginning, they show like that shot of like outside, like the city, the people walking on the street and shit. And they cut from that into this you hear like a scream and they turn the camera towards the window. And then you're in the fucking room just as this fucking kid is finishing getting strangled out. So you don't even get the full like kill on fucking camera. It's just the last like 2 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Of his life. Yeah.
Yeah. They dump him in the fucking thing. Like, from that point on, you know, Philip's already freaking out. Fucking Brandon is like almost gloating when he grabs the cup and he's cleaning it. And he's like, it belongs in the museum now and shit.
Yes, that was awesome.
And like the cranky old fucking maid coming in and stuff.
Do you? All right, my big question is: do you think Jimmy Stewart was gonna fuck her? Because she really thought so. She got her hair cut. Remember, her changed or whatever. Put a bow in her hair.
Yeah.
Ugh.
J-Mac, I want to bring it back to the ancient Greeks. You know, I like to drop Play-Doh on you. But you know, so a play, right? Like, dude, the ancient Greeks did plays, right? Like fucking Plato, Aristotle, all those dudes.
That's why he's called Plato. Because he plays. It's play too.
It's a play too. Yeah. But this is the thing, like, obviously plays have developed over time, right? Like, for example, there's a contemporary play called The Exonerated, and it's like a true story about people on death row, and the way the play unravels is through 6 people's story, you know. But like, this follows the classical version where it's, you know, the Aristotle version where it's, you keep it in one spot, right? Like I said earlier, you know, there's no subplots really, and boom, shouldn't be more than like a day. So everything is quick, fast paced, in the moment. It keeps it in like real, you know what I mean? It makes it feel real, you know what I mean? Because it's back in the day, it's, what the fuck were they doing in fucking ancient Greece, fucking 300 BC or whatever, you know? They didn't have, you know, they didn't have the shit that they have in all this, even by the time Shakespeare and, you know, what is that, 1600s?
Yes.
Didn't have, they had to work what they had to work with, you know? And when you don't, like, look at today, like a movie like Transformers, tons of special effects and all this shit.
Yeah.
Like, and how do you scare somebody with just the bare essentials, with words and acting? You know what I mean? Like, how do you pull this off? You know, it's not an easy task, right? And but if you follow those, that conformity, right? And also you have several other aspects too. You have the status, the stay and the go factor, right? Like, if you look at stay and go, that's a major thing here, right? And there's always status play, like one trying to get on top of the other. And here it's a fucking obvious between Philip and Brandon, between the two of them, and then between, you know, Janet and Brandon, and Janet and Kenneth, and freaking Jimmy Stewart, and, you know, the two,
and everybody.
You know what I mean? It's just everybody's trying to like one up each other via dialogue. And it keeps things tense, it keeps things moving, and it keeps people interested.
Well, yeah, I gotta say, I like this movie a lot.
Oh yeah, I think it's a pretty fantastic film.
That's my Jimmy Stewart impression, by the way.
Especially because it runs in 80 minutes. Very, very quick and very swift. Can you do Swift? Can I, so I can clean the floors?
I'm gonna fuck your maid, okay?
Yeah, do you mind if I just give her a slap on the ass, you know? But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm glad that we visited it, and I'm looking forward to teaching it next semester, you know?
Yes. Oh, so glad you finally got to watch it, man.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of themes to uncover in this film. My students will have a lot of sources that they can work with and cite, like all this shit, you know what I mean? Fucking the Greeks, the Nietzschean shit, you know, the Bible. I mean, you know, they could go balls deep on it.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I do too.
How about you, J-Mac?
Yeah, man. This, like I said, is I love this friggin' thing. The dialogue and all that stuff alone. Like, when Brandon is such a piece of shit, like he does, he says all these little fucking tiny little like one-liner type
stabs,
that
right?
The people don't fucking know, but Philip hears and he's freaking the fuck out. Like, when and like you were saying about like not needing certain stuff to give you feelings and shit just through the words and the acting. When David's father is like worrying about him and it comes up that he's an only child, like, and it's all this fucked up shit that, you know, this kid is dead and his
Didn't
fucking
it hit you in the fucking stomach.
Yeah, like his poor father has no fucking clue, you know. It's just so fucking foul, man. And when Janet tells Brandon, "I could strangle you,"
Yes.
I was like,
I caught that too. Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of foreshadowing, that's for sure.
yeah. And I mean, all that dialogue, like so much stuff about the whole, you know, was it murder is a crime for most men and a privilege for a few? Like, you know, that shit, all that stuff is just fucking. It's awesome to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, bringing this on the stage versus Hitchcock and the way he built the set. I don't know, you know, how it would play off, but you would need great actors. You know what I mean? You need solid actors when you're doing drama. Like when we read it in class, you know, I got to get my students hype and I got to get them jazzed up. You know, I got to pretend I'm like the characters and stuff and get people into it and everything. But there is something about this movie that we didn't mention, that it's based off of an actual murder.
Really?
So the play, it was inspired by the real life murder of a 14-year-old boy in 1924 by two University of Chicago students, Nathan Leopold and Richard Loeb.
Wait, why are like college kids hanging out with a 14-year-old?
Well, I can't answer that question.
Okay.
But apparently, you know, Compulsion, that film 1959, is also based off of that. You know,
And
the two
Psycho is based off of
Richard
Ed Gein.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff based off shit like that, you know?
Weird. I didn't know this was based on a true story.
Yeah. So interesting to see how that comes into play, right? Because we all have inspirations, right?
You're right. What you know, yeah.
You know, they changed it up. But like J-Mac was saying before, you know, it's so strategic the way it's, you know, the kid's father and aunt are in the same room, and the fact that that body is right there in the chest and nobody has a clue. And then
right,
you know, there's this sort of like, you know, pseudo cannibalistic thing going on.
Right, with the food on top of that chest. And even he even said that, James Stewart's like, and you fed us food off of the grave.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude,
powerful.
When James Stewart, when he's giving that whole spiel at the end, you know, once they bust him and everything,
right?
And the fucking neon lights coming through the window.
Yes, the light colors, the red, the green. Yes,
that just you know adds so much more to the whole scene.
Fuck yeah! Oh yeah, it was like Creep Show with the like someone gets mad, you see like the red light, just like that. You saw that too. Oh, I could talk this movie for hours, but I'm not. I'm trying to be good.
So let me pose a question to you guys. So, the original script writer, Arthur Lawrence, right? He didn't have the opening scene with the murder taking place. Hitchcock added that. So, what do you think? Do you think that it's stronger with or without it? Like he was pissed that, you know, the murder scene destroys the tension since the audience knows that it really took place. I disagree with that. I mean, I think knowing the fact that there's a dead body there makes it so much stronger, you know?
I agree with that.
And I even thought when he opened the box, like the body wasn't going to be there somehow.
I remember my first time watching this, I thought they, like, not knowing anything about the movie, how long it was, you know what I'm saying? There was a couple times I thought they were going to get caught, like when the maid is fucking trying to put shit away and all that stuff towards the end. I was like, oh shit, this is it, you know, fucking.
Yeah. Or I thought David was going to jump out of the box or like start hitting it or something. And
then it becomes like Edgar Allan Poe.
Nah, fuck that. It'd be like Billy Bats in the trunk.
Right. The bam, bam.
I mean, they could have just choked him to the point where he just passed out, you know?
Right. Nope, he's dead.
So, you know, he thought the screenplay was stronger when there's suspense about David's death. So what do you guys think? It's stronger or weaker with the
I think it's stronger to show him die.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of not showing him die? You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's a body in the trunk, like
we believe that? What? Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just like I don't see it being damaging, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like maybe it didn't make it better, but it definitely didn't make it worse.
Oh.
I thought it made it better. I do, because you know that they killed this guy and they threw him in the trunk. Other than we'll take their word for it from the get-go, as the play's supposed to do. So yeah. So I totally agree that with Joey that showing him get killed is necessity for this movie.
Yeah, Hitchcock knew what he was talking about. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Also, he made a trailer for this that with scenes that were the whole trailer, all the scenes weren't in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Janet and David like on a park bench or something talking about being in love or some shit like that.
About Bradley? Oh.
Yeah, and then the fucking end of it, I think they say like this is the last time you see David alive or Dave alive or some shit like that.
Wow. Didn't know that. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Jimmy Stewart, apparently, when he heard that the movie was basically filming a play, he actually suggested that they should fucking like sell seats, like get like bleachers in there and have like a live audience while they were fucking filming the movie.
Amazing.
But there's some people who think that this movie was like one of Hitchcock's worst.
Really? Yeah.
The whole idea, like they feel like it was like clumsy, like the whole trying to make it look like it was one scene, like that he handcuffed himself by sticking to this like like Hitchcock even called it a failed experiment or something when it came to the way he filmed it.
Interesting.
We're our own worst critics. We're our own worst critics,
Yep.
Fucking dude, this shit is mint. Kidding me? It holds up in 2018.
Yeah.
And that's what you were saying before. Like you could drop this into any time frame as it is. I mean,
yeah.
Doesn't matter if you got a fucking cell phone unless they were stupid enough to leave fucking the dude's cell phone in his pocket in the trunk.
That's the thing, right?
Imagine that Janet shows up
on hats for cell phones.
Fucking trunk starts ringing.
But change hats for cell phones.
And this is the crazy thing about this movie. Like you said, it's based off of a real thing. Like people really think like this. Like there are elitist people that think they're better than everybody else and that they could just dump you on the side of the road if you get in their way. Like there are people that believe that, fucking death. Yeah, I could kill. No worries. What are you, crazy? You wouldn't think that these college boys would be killers, but guess what? In real life, they were.
Yeah.
So that also is scary. The fact that this is not just a made-up story. This is based off a real murder by people of these, age, of this status. I mean, granted, it was a 14-year-old boy in real life, but it was still the same kind of mentality here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's scary.
It is scary. It's definitely scary. And in 2018, it's fucking crazier than ever out there in the streets.
Yeah, like there's two girls who wanted to kill a girl over the fucking Slender Man, remember?
Yeah, look at that shit.
Same thing.
So what do you guys say? Let's rate this bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's going to come back up when we talk about Black Mirror a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's kick it to you, Bill.
All right. Without a doubt, 5 out of 5. One of Hitchcock's best movies I've ever seen.
Nice. 5 out of 5 from Sir William. J-Mac.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 for me too. Everything, the way it was filmed to look like one continuous scene, the dialogue, all of that. It's a 5 out of 5 for me.
All right. And it's an experiment in success, not failure, Mr. Hitchcock. Let you know out there in the world of spirituality, whatever the fuck you want to say, you did well here, bro. This shit holds up. I wouldn't go 5 out of 5, but I'll go 4.5 out of 5.
Nice.
I do think it's fantastic. I don't think it's perfect. It definitely has, a couple little issues, just like anything would. But 4.5 out of 5, man. Something that I definitely want to take into my classroom and see what happens with. Yeah. Let you guys know. So I forgot. I was literally waiting for Don to be like, "All right, and we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back with our
Actually,
next."
can I take a break real quick before we start the next one?
Yeah, go take a quick break. Me and J Mac will entertain the audience since we don't take breaks on this show.
I know.
So go take your leaky.
Yep. Oh, wait. In the movie, or in Black Mirror, may I have a piss?
May I have a piss? Go for it, buddy. So, J Mac, it was a good choice in Rope. Maybe we'll visit some more Hitchcock along the way. Actually, spoiler alert, if you haven't listened to the Horror Mafia episode, this movie came up last night. The Raven, Vincent Price, Boris Karloff, Peter Lorre. And I've never seen it, but I have this VHS. Apparently, it's supposed to be a funny movie. You ever heard of it?
Right? Nah.
You know, it's like based off of Poe's poem, but it's a comedy. Something that I'm definitely interested in looking at. But that's the thing here, folks. We're going to be covering films that we wouldn't normally talk about in the Horror Mafia. Things that we want to explore in the sci-fi genre, action genre, and whatever else we want to just do, you know? Yeah, we might come across some horror stuff, right? But right now, we're in a good spot with the techno films and show. Techno thrillers, right? So again, what do we have up for next week? We got Black Mirror season 3, episode 1, Nosedive, and the Unfriended films, part 1, and the recently released Dark Web part 2. So it'll be interesting to get into those, see where the conversation goes. But why don't we just get right into a little synopsis of Black Mirror episode Crocodile, because Bill should be back any second from his little peepee.
You know, I've been meaning to bring it up to you, Joe. When we started talking about doing this again, I was like, you know what, man? Obviously love Black Mirror as a series. Don't know that many people that watch it, so I was kind of just dying to talk about it with somebody. You know what I mean? And I kind of brought it up because it's like, oh, you know, the hour-long episodes. Joe's already busy with fucking Mafia, and Bill's busy with Mafia. These things, they'll be quick. He can watch them and knock them out. You know, not realize you're going to watch each episode we do like 6 fucking times.
Yeah. I got him in twice, luckily. I took more notes than I've ever taken on any Horror Mafia.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I like it.
Well, I'm really intrigued by this shit. I think it's fascinating. I've seen the first season. I do agree with Bill. I'm not crazy about the first episode. I liked it. When it came out, I was like, holy shit, this is nuts. But I think that was the purpose of that episode. Like, it's a real hook, you know what I mean? To see what will happen next. Right? But, you know, we get to talk about it. We get to hang out. Like I said, we said earlier, we were chatting for an hour and a half plus before we even went live, and that's what we do, yo. But Billy Babes, let's get the synopsis for this Black Mirror episode, Crocodile.
All right.
It was aired almost a year ago, December of 2017.
All right. Black Mirror's Crocodile. A woman interviews various people using a device that allows her to access their memories. That's all we got from the DB. Stars Mia, played by Andrea Riseborough? Riseborough. And Kiran Sonia Sawar as Shazia.
Shazia.
That's all we got from the DB,
yo. So,
not a good fucking description, really.
No,
a lot more than that.
So, just it goes way deeper than that. I mean,
yeah,
the story is really about Mia, who it basically opens up with a woman, Mia, and a guy, Rob. They're at a club and they're, you know, doing drugs, right? I'm in love with a strip.
Oh, I don't want to hear that fucking song again.
Right? And dude, that line right there, I'm in love with a strict machine. What do you think?
Song sucks.
Forget about the song. The actual line, I'm in love with a strict machine.
That should have been the song in the last one we reviewed.
Which one was that again?
The one where the girl's
Be Right Back.
husband dies, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because she was in love with the machine.
Holy shit.
Big sex scenes too.
But I mean, it also like I think encompasses like the whole point of the series, right? That we're in love with technology.
Oh, it's a good point.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's pretty fascinating. But you know, all the little that's what I love about the show. All the little tidbits, you know, just like starting off, very first thing, Crocodile. Why? Just like, you know, I think in a couple episodes we'll cover White Christmas for the holiday. You know, why? I can't wait to find out why. Because J-Mac said, oh, it has nothing really to do with the episode. I'm like, I guarantee I'll tell you why, motherfucker. So,
what do you want to know why? Why is it called Crocodile?
Well, I know why. I'm going to tell you guys why.
I've got two explanations. All right, cool.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But, so the film. All right. So this is not a spoiler. It's the very opening. But I think if you want to get this in its pure form, where you know nothing about it and you just go into it, turn this off. Take an hour, watch this episode, and come back and listen. So we're gonna speak freely. Spoilers up. All right, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So basically, the film opens up. We got Mia and Rob, and they're at the club. They're doing drugs, getting fucked up. Then we see them driving. You know, and this is filmed in Iceland, so they're in like this mountain range. It's wintry, gorgeous. And next thing you know, boom, hit somebody on a bike, right? They start freaking out. They luckily they're by a lake and they can dispose of the body. In a scene that I was like, wow, that's actually really brilliant. They fill a sleeping bag with the body, dump the body and his bike, and move on. Then flash forward 50 years.
Now, come on. At this point, were you 15 years? Joey, were you not expecting like a I Know You Did Last Summer vibe in this part?
Hell yeah. You know that's
of course.
I was waiting for someone in a slicker to pop out.
Yeah.
So that's one part. Then the other part of the episode is, like I said, the woman interviewing various people with the device. That's Shazia. She works for an insurance company, and we'll get to what happens in a moment, but they cross paths basically, right? So let's kick it over to J-Mac. Let's get your initial thoughts on this episode.
This episode is up there in my favorites. This shit gets dark, man.
Oh yes, it does.
It almost didn't like throw me off and like take me out or anything, but it was almost like holy shit. Like it kind of shocked me at the time because a lot of these episodes have like, you know, crazy twists to them and dealing with technology and all that wild shit. But this was fucking heavy and it made for a really, really fucking good episode.
Yeah, and it's funny because both episodes we watch, right, have a lot of parallels I'll get to, but you know, both of them had incidents where a car, right, was involved, whether it was a car accident or hitting somebody, right? Both of them are dealing with death, but in different ways, right? Where the first one wasn't malicious. This is malicious. So it's the light of death and the dark of death, where you see both, you know?
Well, you guys are aware, right, that there really are driverless cars that have hit people and killed people, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, shortly. Oh, go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, shortly after this episode was put out and premiered, I think it's Honda and some other company got together. They are making a driverless pizza delivery.
Oh no, Domino's has one.
Like, does Domino's at Honda and Domino's got together to make one? Yeah.
I don't know who, but Domino's does have one. I've seen it.
Yeah, so you know, we see how that turns out.
Right. So these are kind of like coming true. These fucking episodes are like,
Well, it's funny because my buddy was telling me like the pizza place now, like you put in your order and you just go to a locker and you take the pizza out of the locker. Like you don't even deal with a person or anything. You just go up to it.
Same with the driverless cars with
Give
Domino's.
a
They pull up.
card, it's not paid for, or if you pay for it through your app, and boom,
Yep.
you just take it with a little code out of the locker or whatever. It
Same
unlocks.
here with the driverless cars. They do that too. They come up to your house and they come out. I mean, you come out and you go to the window, and you have this like keypad, and you put in the last four numbers of your card, and
Right.
it puts the pizza out and it drives away.
Right.
It's real.
That's the thing that we didn't mention though. So Shazia, she's interviewing people to find out, doing an insurance investigation. The incident is a pizza truck, a robot pizza truck basically backs up into a guy, and she's trying to get the guy money via the insurance, and it's pretty crazy the way this goes, man.
Oh yeah, he didn't die though. He broke his arm or something, his hand.
No, he didn't die. No, not at all.
Yeah, he broke his arm or hand, whatever. But he's like he's some kind of musician that was supposed to be traveling. Was it the Philharmonic or something he was supposed to go to? You said
London Philharmonic. Yep.
Yeah. So before we move forward, I just want to mention, because now I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, they're at the club and everything, and then we see them, in love, right? They're in love. They're singing, in the car. Similarly to the couple from the last episode, remember? Like in the beginning, they're singing the song together.
But not the Bee Gees, though.
No, not the Bee Gees, but I'm saying it's the concept of, like the shows love and death, right? And then it's crazy because in an instant, boom, their love is dead, literally and figuratively.
Their life changed right there, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So, and then, like I was saying, so the setting, right? We get a lot of imagery of Iceland here, and it adds so much isolation, a feeling of isolation, and that's what she's feeling because this woman, well, we didn't mention what happens yet, but over those 15 years, she had to keep this bottle up inside, and she has a family and a child now. She has a major career.
A new husband.
Yeah. So, but they can easily get away with this because they're in this giant mountain range. The lake is there for their disposal. So they're able to pull that off, right? So, Bill, what are your initial thoughts with the episode?
Originally, I thought this was going to be like I Know You Did Last Summer. I thought for sure. They accidentally killed someone under the influence, and they dumped his body in a river or whatever, a body of water with some rocks. And I'm like, no, yeah. He'll come back and like taunt them via the internet or something. Nope, I was totally wrong, but in a good way.
Yeah.
This actually kept my attention more than the other episodes I've seen of the show.
Excellent. I'm glad. Because I know you mentioned that you weren't crazy about the show.
Right.
So, and before we move away from the opening sequence, I wrote down the opening sequence is grisly in that this can happen to any one of us. But how would we handle it, especially if we were in Rob and or Mia's shoes? So
I want to bring something up though, Joe.
Sure.
When this first happened, the first time that when they hit the guy with the bike, she was the one advocating for like calling the cops, doing the right thing. He was not. He was like, nope, let's get rid of his body now. I'm doing this. Let's put him in a bag. I'm throw him in the water.
Says we've been caning it.
Yeah. I want to make that a point of note.
We've been caning it. And he's telling, this is instant prison. I'm the driver. This is instant prison.
Right. So I want to make that a point that it was him who was the bad guy here.
Yes, 100%.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Nothing. No, I'm saying like how, that could happen to any one of us. Like, we live in New York City, but Bill's in Bangor, Maine. Like, look what happened with Stephen King, bro. Right?
He got hit by a car.
Side of the road. Like, dude, that could happen to any one of us. We could be driving a car and hit somebody, and our lives are changed forever. How would you handle that though? Like, if you can get away with it, would you, dispose of the bodies so you don't go to jail?
Facing life in prison, he was. Or just doing that.
It's scary, bro. It's fucking grisly because of the fact that that can happen to us if we're not careful enough, man.
Sure.
So, interesting thing I was thinking about, these are all my notes from second time watch. So,
Well, if he really would have called the cops, the most he would get is like manslaughter, second degree, and like driving under the influence. He'd get like 30 days in jail. That's it. So I don't know, man. It's a hard fucking decision, though.
I mean,
and she was innocent. She did nothing. She was in the. Oh, one thing again. This is a
he would've
British
gotten a
made
lot of
show,
time,
right?
that guy. He would have been in jail for a long time, dude.
No, he would have gotten manslaughter, second degree, and driving under.
Yeah, he
Out
would
on
have
bail.
years in prison.
Not in Iceland. Another thing, though, this show is made by Brits, right? By the Europe, correct?
I believe.
How come the driver's side was on the left and like they were driving on the right, like Americans?
That's not all of Europe. That's only certain places.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I'm very ignorant to that.
England is definitely like that. Not every place is like that.
Okay. I thought it was like to placate the people in America. I have no idea.
Yeah. So, all right, now let's talk about the elephant in the room and what happened. So now, after this happens, we flash forward 15 years, right? And basically the episode unravels like this. In a nutshell, we find out that she has a family, that she's like this elitist architect that develops basically towns, like neighborhoods, not just buildings, but whole neighborhoods, right? We find out that she's being paid to talk to people. Like she goes and does speeches or whatever.
A forum, right?
Yeah. She's always she's doing the speech and she's like, "I'm so happy to talk in front of such impressive company," right? She wants to share a vision of the future. This is a direct quote. "Looking around at the world of injustice, intolerance, and huge environmental challenges, it's hard to imagine a bright future, but we are all." I can't read my little. "But we can, something we must. It's the only way we can build a better tomorrow." And my, oh my, is she the exact opposite of all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Because what happens is, after this little interview that she does, she goes to her hotel room and she gets paid a visit by Rob. Rob being not her husband, but the guy from the beginning.
The guy who hit the guy on the bike.
Yeah.
And put him in the lake, right? Or river, whatever.
So it's pretty crazy because
and Rob is now doesn't do any drugs or alcohol. Has been through AA, right?
Right. He's sober for 9 months.
And she's like guzzling fucking wine like it's no tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Like me with Coors Light.
Dude. He shows up at the hotel room, right? And there's a lot of foreshadowing in this conversation, right? She's talking about how she gets paid to go and speak, and she goes, "It almost does my head in." It almost does my head in, like talking about her ego, right? Like, it almost does my head in. And then about alcohol, he says, "I knocked it on the head." And that is some interesting foreshadowing because we get some of that in a little bit. And basically what happens is he wants to write a letter to
the family of
the widow of the guy they hit.
Right.
He found an article saying, I think the wife is still hoping that he's out there somewhere.
Right.
They never found his body. They don't know the poor prick died.
Right.
The poor prick. That's exactly what sorry about that. So yeah, she fucking flips out. She's like, "You'll open up God knows what," He said that he learns that he needs to make amends with all that he hurt. And she's like, "No," flipping out. 15 years, the shame, the guilt. And then she says, "I've got somewhere. I've got a life. You don't know. You don't understand. You're not married. I've got a son, 9 years old." And
yeah.
So what? What does that mean? Like, I understand you know, you did this, but this is what this guy needs to do. He's not going to involve you, and that's it, you know?
Right. She wouldn't be implicated in this. It wasn't her fault.
Right. She wouldn't be. But she
Well,
also
she technically was an accessory once she helped push the body into the water, though.
right. But I mean, he could just say I was driving by myself, and this is what happened. You know, she wouldn't even be
Right.
It's not like
He said right. I wouldn't even mention you. He
to
said.
find out, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah, what happens is she basically fucking kills him. So
how, by the way, was it like leaning on his neck? I don't.
Interesting the way she killed him, right?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Kind of was a little shaky, actually. Just looking at my notes before I move on from this. I don't want to lose this stuff. I'm just talking about Shazia, so we'll talk about her in a second. Okay.
I think she like leaned on his neck and it broke.
From what I could see or thought what was happening, he trying to leave and she wraps him up for like a hug,
right?
And they, like holding him there, like no, you can't do this. Like they end up falling to the ground. She has holding his arms to his body. He has no way to brace himself.
Oh, right, and
so
his head hit the floor.
Whacks his head off the floor. He's like stunned.
Right.
She used the collar of his jacket or shirt or whatever to fucking strangle him out.
Well, we heard a crack. I don't know what that meant, but yes,
that was just his head whacking off the floor. I think it was implied how is this small woman?
I mean, when she had her arm over his neck, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know I doubt she broke his fucking neck, but maybe she crushed his windpipe. I don't know.
Right. I that's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
I was like, how is this guy not throwing this little chick off of her?
Yeah,
but again, did you guys think he was not really dead? Again, like after the first time, like, oh, he ain't really dead. Right. Oh, I guess he
just like in Rope.
Like in Rope. Like, is he really dead? I don't know.
Back, you know.
But yeah, no, she killed him. He's dead.
But one thing to you know that's important is we see the here we go, J-Mac. We're getting a lot of juxtaposition. We see the juxtaposition of him and her, where she dealt with all this shit as well, and she became successful, and he became fucked up, right? Dealing with battling addiction. She's on the cover of a magazine, right? But one thing I wanted to say was the magazine's title was called Dwell. Now,
yes, I saw
that. A real magazine?
No, not that I know of.
I didn't even notice the title of the magazine.
It was on the wall in the back.
Well, is modern living, home design ideas, inspiration, and advice since 2000s. A big magazine. So,
so it really is real
architecture. So,
for real?
Yes, it is real. But it's interesting because the word dwell, it's just a very downer kind of word sounding. Are we dwelling on this incident, right, that she's going to deal with? And then when she has the husband and son, it's like, have a nice day. Soft rock music is playing, all is peachy, so it's like her life on the outside versus the shit inside of her, totally different,
And then what's the first thing she does after killing him? Porn.
Porn. Well, that was to cover up the sound.
Well, first she looks outside the window.
It's not like she puts the porn on because she wants to get off.
I don't know. But first she looks out the window and sees the pizza truck hit the guy.
Yes. Wow.
And that is the changing point. Well, apart from another part later, but yes.
She throws him down. He hits his head, chokes him out. And, she wants to save her ass, right? Just like he wanted to save his ass. So, I mean, she's only doing what he would do. But, the open window is what leads Shazia to different people that eventually gets to her. They see her in the window through the recaller, and that's how she eventually gets to her, right? So, actually, my quip, I have a quip with this, and then I want to talk about the whole Shazia stuff, and we'll switch around. So, my whole quip with this is how she transports the body. Like, bro, there's no fucking cameras. There's no one.
There were cameras. They showed them. That's why she put them under the sheets on that.
Dude, but nobody questioned why this chick.
Right, like why she's going to fucking
with a food cart.
Yeah, exactly. Like the car garage with the fucking food cart. Exactly.
I also noticed a lot of orange juice in this episode.
Hmm.
Like when she's at breakfast and there and in their house. Just like, what the hell does this have to do with something? But I didn't look into that one. But we're going to talk about
and orange juice is the symbol for
healthiness.
But all right, so let's talk about Shazia now, our other character here. Right. You know, and when we first meet her, you know, we see her, she's driving through mountain ranges, right? And like we also see a major like smog from a plant. So more juxtapositions. The imagery is juxtaposing the beauty of naturalism and industrialism, right? Which I mean is the ultimate catalyst to technology today, right? Industrialism. And this is Shazia. She greets this barking puppy. Bro, the puppy is like a vicious dog, like, ah! She's like, hi, puppy. It really shows the innocence of her character, you know? She works for this high-tech insurance company, and it seemed like, you know, this character that like seemed like she was faking an injury almost, like she had all her stuff.
The fat lady, yeah.
You know, it's interesting because
like, hold on, let me put my neck brace on, and yeah.
I don't know. Is it trying to say that you either sink or swim, meaning you move on with technology and succeed somehow, or you end up, you know, trying to milk the system in some way, shape, or form?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know, that was what, because I mean, look at society today, man. It's like, dude, why should I go work my ass off minimum wage if I could just sit back and collect a fucking check? You know, on unemployment and make just, you know, just about the same amount, if not more.
Right.
So
disgusting. Yes.
You know, you get a lot of juxtaposition of like ransacked buildings with like high tech looking buildings, and also with the natural environment. You see a lot of water, which is, you know, representing, you know, rebirth, innocence, and all that stuff. But at the same time, when it's juxtaposed next to like a fucking ransacked looking meth lab house, it counteracts each other. So we end up meeting her and her hubby, who brings home a guinea pig or a hamster.
Guinea pig.
Right. And actually, it's crazy because the first time around, I didn't really realize when more murder happens later, that there was another character in this family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, what do you think? What do you think about this stuff?
That was the twist. We'll get there.
Well, what do you think about this whole situation? Like, we meet her, we meet him, you know,
right.
Like, two families. Now we have like one family and another family, right?
Right. But let me start by one thing.
Please.
I freaking hate Europe in the fact that they've got to like make check marks for every diversity thing. So one of the problems I have with this is like, oh, let's make this main character a Muslim and she's married to a black guy. And I'm like, oh, come on, really? So right there, it took me out. Like, I get what they're doing, but it could have been anybody in the role.
I didn't even take note of any of that. Like, I thought about it for a moment and I was like, fuck that. I think.
Yeah. But to me, she was not a good actress. She was not good looking. Like, nothing about her made any sense. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Actually, I disagree. I thought she was a great actor for the role, and I thought she was kind of cute.
Okay.
I wasn't mad at her. Like, I didn't think she was bad or anything. But
that nose, man.
She was. I liked her as a character, man. She was a mother. She was, you know, a working woman, right?
Well, the character is great.
I mean, she's busting her ass.
Anybody in that role, doesn't matter who.
Right. Of course.
Well, they could say that for even Mia's role. Then you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I'm saying is like they're trying. Like the BBC had some influence in there, and like trying to make the check marks on. We got to have diversity. We got to have this. So I get it, but I'm like, they could have picked someone better for the role. I'm like, ugh, whatever. Mm. But I mean, you did feel for her though toward the later part of the episode.
Yeah, you did. I did. Dude, she was a fucking...
I did too.
Dude, she was an innocent person.
Right. Well, again, she didn't have to go to that extreme to get to what... She could be like, all right, you know what? You're right. The fucking pizza truck hit you. Here's some money. She didn't have to go all this way to fucking do this.
No, but she
Isn't
did.
it
Like,
because of the size of the corporation and shit, and the fact that the kid's livelihood was fucked up by not being able to go on the thing, and the payout was going to be so big, they needed as much evidence as possible as to what happened.
yo, like musicians that like work in like big opera places, like real big, you know, like philharmonics and shit. They have insurance. Like if they get hurt, like God forbid they get a serious injury on their hands.
Well, she said that. She was like, this is a big corporation. You'll get a big payout. He's like, all right, cool.
Right. It's not just like a regular, oh, I just got hit by a truck. I'm gonna get money.
No, I get that.
I'm gonna get money because my it's like, my hands are weapons and they're registered. My hands are music. This is my job.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like malpractice for a fucking doctor or something.
But she told him that. But I mean, again, like she took it upon herself to be like this super detective to like go deeper and deeper. She didn't have to.
Yeah, well, that's her job, bro. This guy has insurance with her.
But she was done after him. When she interviewed him, she was done.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, he was busy checking the chick out.
And the gay guy she didn't have to go there though.
Well, she needed to get a thing to see how quick the car was going.
All right, true enough.
Remember,
she
like
couldn't get a view of it.
Depending on how the person saw it, you can see the speed. It could detect the speed. Remember?
Yeah.
So, and also think about like it's almost like it's a governmental thing too, man. This is like,
oh yeah, right. She said that. It's what'd she say? Like last month, it's a rule or law now.
Yeah. Like the guy was like, "Oh, is this for the police?" And she's like, "No, we all have them now."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Pretty soon, everyone will have one in their house, and then it's like
it just seemed to me like she was going out of her way to do this. It was like a personal vendetta. Like she had to go. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, remember, she has the line where if she solves it within 24 hours, she gets double bonus.
Yeah, I saw that too. But it's like, 50 miles out of her way to go to this girl's house, and
she's busting her ass
for that money, bro. She got a baby to feed, kid.
Dollar bills.
I didn't remember about the baby the first time around. So when it happened later on, I was like, oh.
All right. I'll give you that. Like I said, I am open to critical thinking. So yes, okay, you got me.
I think by not actually showing the baby and like the episode being so intense, you forget about that shit. You don't even think that would be a thing that would happen. You know what I mean? It's not even a thought.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Forget about the fucking guinea pig too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it called?
The big twist got me though. I'll tell you that. The big twist really got me.
Oh yeah.
Hit me in the fucking gut.
I assumed that she was talking about like a pet or something. Like Ollie was another pet that the fucking codger, the fucking hamster, wasn't gonna get along with. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize it was crying, but yeah. And then when it's weird because why do they show them cross paths? Like, why do you think they chose to do that? Like when she's driving, you see Shazia standing on the corner.
Right.
Like, what is the point of that?
I don't know.
Small world type thing?
Yeah, I think it's more of a small world type thing than any kind of giant deep meaning.
Yeah. Speaking about deep meaning, I found some deep meaning in that porno. First of all, we see Wrath Babes.
He's like, I rented that 3 times to see.
Oh yeah, I loved it. No, but
$20 a pop.
We see Wrath Babes, which is from that old episode with the dude from Get Out, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now throughout the series, you'll see certain episodes kind of imply that this all happens in the same universe.
It definitely does, without a doubt, because there was something else too. I just gotta wait till we get to it in my notes. We'll get to it.
You're not done yet?
Dude, no, nowhere near.
I know.
So we get that, but then the X Confessions is the one that she puts on.
Yes.
Confessions.
Yep.
Meaning that's symbolic for what that they should have done, and they wouldn't be dealing with any of this crazy shit, right?
Yep. She latched right onto that one.
Who would have thought you would pull symbolism out of the porno that she chose? So, all right. So she interviews the French Fences Pizza victim. We find out that there's the cameras were paintballed by kids, and the camera on the truck doesn't work, right? Like, so you're fucking putting these, you know, cars that don't have people in them, and they're running people over and shit, and the cameras on them aren't working. Says something about, yeah, oh, these things are going to be new, they're going to be good, and they're going to fall apart, and people aren't going to monitor them, right? Technology, fuck them. What else? What else? What else, guys? What about the School Musical?
That's all right. I was gonna say that when the husband is sitting there singing that song, right there, this show got an extra fucking star from me because I am a huge fucking fan of Bugsy Malone.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, we're watching it.
We could have been anything we want to be.
Oh, you're killing it, man.
Totally killing it.
We could have been anything that we wanted to be. Bum, 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 bum. It's from the guy who did the music for the Muppet movie. Come on, Paul Williams. Yeah. And Phantom of the Paradise.
I know. Anyone.
Scott Baio and Jodie Foster as like 8 years old doing a mobster movie. Gang members.
I gotta see this.
Yes, we are watching this on the Mafia. I don't care what Don says.
I was gonna say this could work for Mafia.
Yep, my next Mafia movie.
Excellent. J Mac will have to be a guest on that one.
Hells yeah.
So we meet a couple of characters along the way that she has to interview, including a dentist that's taking a picture of a naked dude.
He's like, yeah.
And a chick in a yellow coat that the guy was thinking was cute, and she thought he was cute. I was like, that's interesting.
She's hot though. It's pretty cool. Did you see her like view of him? He's like,
yeah, he looks sweet.
And she's like, he was cute. He's like, yes.
No need hard around.
That whole middle piece when the girl is kind of following the breadcrumbs to get to the bottom of this, I enjoyed a lot of that stuff when it came to, like, you know, seeing how the machine, you know, pulling up your memories through a little fucking thing they stand. That shit looked like it hurt. None of them even flinched. When
like
it was like a fucking push, sticking a push pin in your fucking
right. Yeah, right, like a freaking thumbtack right in your head.
Yeah. And that was cool. And some of her dialogue about memories and how our memories is subjective, because I think the guy who was taking pictures of the dentist thought the girl was wearing like a lime.
I was gonna bring that up, dude. We said like lime green coat, and it switched to yellow when she said that. Dude,
yeah, she's like, no, it's yellow, and then it was yellow.
Yes,
and just using the brewery in the neighborhood, the whole place smells like beer. They were using the smell of beer to help
smell it. Don't drink it.
Fucking that kind of, I guess, you know, little subplot or whatever that was in there. That whole thing was interesting enough for me.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like there's that, you know, side of the fucking technical shit, and then the fucking murders that were going on were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's freaking nuts, dude. It's just like all of a sudden she kills Rob in the hotel room, and then Shazia goes to her house while she's strung out, drinking wine, fucking losing it. Right?
She's not stopped drinking wine through the whole episode.
No, definitely not. So yeah, she goes to her house, and that's where she ends up kidnapping Shazia. And that scene with her tied up.
Oh man,
intense.
No, actually, before that, the scene where she like realizes that Shazia knows what she knows.
She's chasing her out of the house in her socks.
Yes, he's coming out in the socks.
See it out the window and it doesn't break a couple times.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that was cool.
Tension, bro. Tension.
Yep. Suspense is awesome there.
Oh, yeah.
Their damn push button car didn't work twice.
Great shit right here. So then, just to add more of the innocent shit, right? That's juxtaposing her is what, I'm like, why did they choose Bugsy Malone? I know Jodie Foster starred in it.
Yep.
She directed the episode before this. But
really?
Yeah.
Jodie Foster?
Yeah. But
I didn't know that.
She did Archangel, I think, right?
Really?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like these kids singing and dancing as mobsters, it's like,
dude,
innocent.
We're watching that movie. We're watching it.
And this is why I love the quotes, because it made me think of this. When she first comes down and sees the father and the son, it says soft rock music playing, and I'm like, this guy's such a fucking dad, like soft rock music playing after with all this shit.
His balls are cut off.
So innocent, like, hi mom. The orange juice is on the table, big and bright in this white home that they're in. I mean, it's obvious, that's what's going on here. That's why it's staged that way. So it's really fantastic production. I mean, it's so in depth. I love this shit. What else here?
Some parts had all right. There's one part of this show, Joey. Tell me you don't disagree, or tell me you disagree. Is when she told her, "Close your eyes for me." How about that, J-Mac? Did that not make your fucking stomach drop?
Yeah, there was a few of those stomach drop moments in this.
Yeah, right. There's more coming. I mean,
they kept dropping harder and harder, bro.
Yeah, right. The last one was brutal.
Yes, we're getting there. When she tells her, like, she knows she's gonna die by her hand. She's like,
when she's like, "Did you tell anybody you were coming here?" And she's trying to lie. No.
Why the hell did you say no? Be like, yes, the police know.
And she uses the fucking recaller on her and pulls up the fucking memory. And there's something in that memory. I want to see if you guys fucking caught it, but in Chaz's memory, that I think a lot of this shit could have been avoided.
If she talks.
Yeah.
Yo, remember when she's like, yo, here, it's the ELUA agreement, right? The end user. If she would have actually sat and read it, it would have been all avoided, because she didn't legally have to do it. The girl just made that shit up, I think.
Yeah,
the cops don't get involved. I don't know if that's true or not. She
said that only allowed. I don't know if that part was true, but she told the dentist. The dentist was freaking out about taking a picture of the naked guy through the fucking window, and she was like, "Are you going to tell her?" And she's like, "Oh, we're only allowed to talk. We're only allowed to save what's relevant to what the fuck we're looking at."
Unless you hurt yourself or someone else. That's it.
And I don't know if she actually would have to report it to the fucking police, but that girl, like everybody else in the world, when those fucking agreement things come up, they just click accept and they move on to the next fucking thing.
Right. Who reads that shit?
Yeah. It could have fucking saved this girl from fucking wiping out an entire family.
It's amazing. It's so crazy. Just that one little thing, and it's so subtle,
No, but when she said, "Close your eyes for me," I was like, that's like the last bastion of humanity in this girl's fucking brain.
Oh, yeah.
Because she didn't want to do it, seeing her eyes open. All right. Wow.
Well, that all connects to the title here.
Yes. I was going to get there too, but I'll wait. Go ahead.
Let's leave that for after we get through the whole plot to the end, because then
yeah. Agree.
So basically, after Shazia gets murdered, she sees her husband
first she goes in her car and looks where she lives.
Right, but in the recaller, she sees the husband, like, who else she told about this. She goes in the GPS, pops in home, and uses her car, goes to the house, and shows up. And all of a sudden, it's like a scene out of fucking a slasher film.
Dude, did you not think she was going to get him while he was watching TV? I did. I was like, oh, he's dead now.
Oh, yeah. And again, more suspense, by not doing that.
Yeah. And how did he not see her, by the way, when he stood up?
More symbolism by him dying in water.
Right, more water. That's where I got another clue of the title, but I'll wait. Go ahead.
symbolism of innocence, him dying in there, innocent victim. Boom.
The fucking when he's under the water with his eyes open and she lays the fucking towel over him.
Yes, because the eyes she hit. That's why she was like, "Close your eyes." Oh man.
Yep. Intense, bro.
Oh.
Intense.
Yeah, she kills the fuck out of her husband.
Yep. And goes to the house, hits him in the head with a hammer. Boom.
And then what? What'd she hear?
Dunk.
No, then what did she hear?
Oh, and then you hear the coo of a baby.
Oh boy.
And off screen, somehow, some way, she kills it.
She murders that baby. Oh. And you see the baby, they're looking at her too, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh.
When you hear that baby giggle or whatever the fuck it was it did, like she kills the husband, she's sitting there fucked up about it for a second, or pretending to be. Fucking, and then she takes the scarf like off her face and takes a step out, and you hear that fucking baby, and she looks up.
Oh.
Bro, if your stomach doesn't fall out of your ass when that fucking when that happens, like you're not fucking human, bro.
But the way she's standing there, like debating, do I kill this baby or not? Like right there, like right in front of the kid, just standing like Michael Myers, just looming over the child in his crib, looking at her like, oh man. And she does. She kills him.
Yep. Wow. Say she goes, "Who kills a baby?"
Yes, the cops.
Yeah,
like,
cops.
Who kills a baby?
And the baby was blind.
That's the fucking twist.
Holy shit.
That is the twist, is the baby didn't see her.
Oh, the poor bastard was born blind.
Fucking heartbreaking. Wow. If that don't get you after she kills a kid, then you find out he couldn't have fucking nabbed her. Oh, wow. And then she goes back to home like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And goes to her kids' play
of Bugsy Malone. And
yep.
And I think she just murdered a fucking child.
And a husband.
Murders a husband and a child and goes to sit next to her husband and her fucking living kid.
Oh. But the big twist,
family, not even
but the bigger
family
is coming up.
Wow.
What's the bigger twist there, Joe?
Bigger twist, Bill, tell them.
Is the fucking guinea pig that what's her name's the Indian girl, her husband, whatever, brought a fucking guinea pig home for the family, for the little baby.
Kaja. His name's Kaja.
Kaja the Larger.
What happened? And the cops hook up to the guinea pig to find out her identity. Oh my God.
Yep.
That was brilliant.
Brilliant. And
wow.
Yo, just right there. Kaja the Larger is just, dude, what does that mean? Dude, it's just innocent nursery rhymes just to add on to more of the innocence of these people. Right?
I gotta say, this episode was the apology to the ones I've watched.
And dude, this is also another haunting scene. Just seeing her clapping and knowing that the fucking cops are in the back.
Right. She turned around, saw the cops there.
It's just like,
so she knows she's doomed.
Shit, and then cut to black and screen. Done.
Oh man, dude!
With the song playing, we could have been anything we
wanted to be.
It's not too late to change, except it is for Mia North.
Yep. Wow.
Wow. What an episode, bro. What an episode. Now, couple of things. First of all, that was the same pizza that was in the episode USS Callister, which we're going to get to in a problem.
I didn't see that one yet. All right.
So there's a pizza ordered, and it's from, in the episode, somebody orders a pizza, and it's from the same company.
Okay.
For more of the same universe, J-Mac. What else from my notes? Like we mentioned, Jodie Foster directed the previous episode, and she also starred in the film Bugsy Malone.
Yep.
Also, this one goes back to that episode of I keep at 15 million merits, I think it's called. Yeah, 15 million merits. The host of Hot Shots was caught with a rent boy. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I heard him say that. Yeah.
So that was the guy, that was the host of that like American Idol show, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
A rent boy.
A rent boy. And I mean, dude, let's pose this. Imagine a world where you can't lie anymore. Surveillance of your mind. Intense. Intense. And it goes back to that episode we mentioned, season 1, episode 3, I believe.
Yeah.
With the eye lens. So, all right, what else?
The title.
Yes, let's get to that.
What do you guys make of the title of this? Crocodile.
I have two.
All right. What do you got? The obvious one?
Yeah,
well, the obvious one. Yeah. I think we all probably got the obvious one.
Crocodile tears, right?
Yes. She did cry in the episode.
Cried a lot in the episode.
She basically cried.
Yeah. But you see a tear come down twice.
In the club on drugs happy.
Yeah, that too. But no, you really did see the tear come down. And I'm like, I didn't believe it was then when she had the crocodile tears, but the end. Oh my God, at the end. And my other observation was crocodiles kill silently and quickly and in the water. Like the end of the movie or a show.
That's right.
When she killed the husband.
And if you notice, when she kills Bob in the hotel room, the TV screen behind her has water on it.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Nice.
And the way she killed him, when she wraps him up and brings him to the ground, crocodiles will catch prey and then drag them under the water to suffocate them.
Right. True. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. So,
yeah, double meaning.
Also,
to continue with the symbolism of crocodile, symbol is they're there to remind us, right, that we cannot always be gentle and placid, right?
Lake Placid? Oh,
Lake
sorry.
Placid.
Go ahead.
Right? Primal, strength, power, fear, speed, ferocity, fury, anger, right? What's that say? Emotional, and also fake, right? Because the alligators in wait lies there and wait. You don't realize it's there. You think it's a bush, and all of a sudden jump out and grab your ass, right, J-Mac? You're
Florida, yeah.
You are the lizard king.
You're saying you think it's a bush. They camouflage into things. If you look at the clothes that she's wearing in this show, when she kills homeboy in the hotel room, she's wearing like a tannish top. They have one camera angle where you almost can't see her body because it blends in with the wall behind her.
Yes.
Then when she's
wearing all white and it blends in with the house.
Yeah, and when she busts the window, she's got like the gray sweatshirt on, the fucking sky behind her. And then in the house, she's wearing all the dark and kind of hiding in the shadows and shit. Fucking insane, bro. That they found a way to camouflage this chick in a fucking.
And we call that seeing without being seen, right?
Yeah.
So, like you were saying, it's with their ability to hide and snap before prey, right? Also, from this, we should learn to make our decisions wisely and with care, aka read the ELAU agreements, people. Taking time to wait for the right time, and in a Croc's case, the right time to strike, right? The hypervigilance that we sometimes need to exercise, right? And like Stephen King coins in his essay, The Anti-Civilization Emotions. They have highly evolved vision to see well into the night and underwater, but are snappy and short-tempered. Like, yeah, she could fucking be an architect and develop neighborhoods, but this one little moment, she snaps, done. You know what I mean? So the symbolism in the title just goes so far and deep, from the imagery on the screen to the themes, and it's amazing, bro.
It's a
I
great
love this
title.
episode. And again, we get this icy landscape. We get this cold character, emotional isolation, because she has to bottle this up for 15 years. Right?
It changes her whole. When they jump 15 years and you see her and she has that short blonde haircut, like it's a completely different fucking girl.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It completely changed who she was. She wasn't the free spirited fucking, like she's been dealing with it.
Yeah.
And a way where I think they initially kind of want you to feel sympathy for her because she didn't want to fucking do it in the first place. She tried to call the cops and the guy talked her out of it. Like she goes from being almost like a victim in it herself to being the fucking monster of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. She has to develop this thick skin, just like a croc.
It's cold-blooded, man.
Nice. Yeah.
Right? Cold-blooded like a
Bro, in that hotel room, when she fucking calls the room service in and they cut and show the dude is stashed under the fucking bed, and then she finds porno, and it's like, this bitch is diabolical.
Oh, yeah. She's absolutely nuts, dude. And that's the thing. It goes to the Hamlet quote: smile and smile and smile and be a villain. William Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah.
I always got to drop a little Hamlet on you.
I just had a fucking flashback to the group chat about what we should call your notes when you go in like that.
Oh boy. And on that note, shall we rate this bad boy?
Hells yeah.
That was we went deep. I love this. I'll kick it off. I'm gonna go with a 5 out of 5, man. I love the desperation of this episode. I mean, it really shows the extent of human depravity inside of our heads and the things that we would do to get by, our egos, right? And what our super egos and the id and how it all is balanced in us is different for each of us, right? It also plays off kind of like Rope did in a detective mystery cat and mouse type drama, I like that aspect of it. And again, like J-Max said, the way things are with the imagery, like I said, with the landscape, everything. It's just such an interconnected episode. I fucking love it. 5 out of 5. Oh, sorry, I'm the host. Bill.
All right. I gotta say, of all the episodes of Black Mirror that I've seen, this is probably the best one I've seen. And I'm gonna go with the fact that they were not heavy-handed with the sci-fi stuff in this one. It was more like a now, day. It didn't like apart from the
cocky and thriller.
Well, no, but I mean, they had like the memory machine that was cool, but it wasn't like flying cars and shit.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with the fact that it was more not about that, but more about the story and her madness. And I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say a 3.5 out of 5.
Ouch.
Not ouch. It's good. The rest were like 1s and 2s.
It's better than average.
It's almost a 4. I really like this episode.
Yeah. I guess it's not that bad. 3.5 actually. I just think
it wasn't without its flaws.
I think this is superior storytelling.
Sure. Again, it wasn't without its flaws, but it was a really, really good one of the probably the best one I saw so far. So.
Like you could take our batshit crazy conversation and write that into like a formal academic essay. Study this shit.
Yeah. J-Mac, what you got?
Yeah, I want to give it a 5 out of 5, but there are episodes that I like more than this, and I'm not 100% sure if it's on par with them. So I'm probably going to give it a 4.5.
Nice. I actually have to change my rating to a 4.5 because of the scene where she's disposing of the body, and in that society, there's cameras everywhere.
Yes, cameras. Yes, I thought that too.
But you know what? If she might have got caught anyway, if the gerbil thing didn't, or whatever, hamster thing or whatever, if that thing didn't happen, right? Maybe she would have got caught somehow, because this is all, again, just like in Rope, 24-hour period, right? Like, keep it quick, keep it in, like, tell the story, let's go.
Keep it clean, yeah.
That's what Joey's wife said. Oh,
bada bing, bada boom, real dick in the
yeah, man. Like, it's so, like I said, there's gut punch moments in this fucking episode.
Yeah,
it's tough and it's awesome, and I enjoy the fuck out of it. Some people actually dislike this episode because, like I remember watching it for the first time. Like, on my first view, when that fucking baby cries, like, they're not gonna do this. Are they really gonna fucking do this right now? It's like, oh shit, they're gonna,
they did.
Even though you don't see it, it's like, what the fuck. But yeah, man, good stuff.
It's scarier not showing it because it leaves it to our imagination how they would kill a baby.
Yeah,
Unlike, did say the cops did say bloodbath, right?
Where you see like an actual like fucking fetus rip out of a fucking stomach. You know what I mean?
It's not Human Centipede 2, but they did say, like, the cops are like, oh man, like the murder downstairs and this bloodbath upstairs, like, oh, yeah, what did you do to him?
I think that was a good choice to show cops being disturbed by it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cops who regularly see fucked up shit, like, it just adds to how fucked up it is.
Yeah.
Adds to the dread and the depravity of it.
Yeah. For that couple, seconds of those cops standing by that crib just looking in there like horrified.
Yeah. It goes to show, I mean, that's what I love about just storytelling, literature, film, books, whatever. I mean, dude, it brings you, to a place that you wouldn't normally be. You know what I mean? Whether it's a story like fucking Last of the Mohicans from back in the day, or a contemporary piece like this, it's also a piece of history. It's an architect. She's an architect. It's an artifact. Right? This is an artifact of its time, man. Like 100 years from now, people might be looking at Black Mirror just like almost, what is it? 30. So Rope was 70 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
70 years ago. And we're sitting here talking about it in a fucking podcast. Like, you think they ever thought about a fucking podcast? Yeah, they had a radio talk, but not the way on a cell phone, smartphone, listen to a podcast. Hitchcock, was he thinking about that? Probably not.
Fucking, since we just brought Rope up again, I forgot to say it earlier. Apparently, what's his name? Rupert. Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart
got paid $300,000 to do that.
He what?
He got paid $300,000 to be in that movie.
He deserved it.
Was that a lot at the time?
The whole budget of the movie was like $1.5 million.
He was a huge actor,
Yeah, it's like 1/3 the budget.
And he was good because he was a play. He was a drama actor. He did plays when he started, which is what a lot of them did back in the day. So, on that note, I'm going to eat my star cookies for Christmas. J-Mac, you know what those are.
I know all about them, man. That's what I'm talking about.
It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. Slice and Dice episode number 42 in the can. It was a great experience visiting this episode and this film. Next time, once again, we'll let you know we are covering Black Mirror season 3, episode 1, Nosedive. So watch that and join us for that. And Unfriended part 1 and 2, The Dark Web, next time on episode 43 of Slice and Dice Trickcast. Gentlemen, anything you want to say before we're out?
Can't wait to see part 2 of Unfriended, actually.
Yeah, I'm excited. I ain't seen either one of them, so check that out. Excited to see what you guys think. I've fucking, like I said, I've been dying to talk about Black Mirror with somebody. Doesn't just look at me like I'm insane. So
excellent. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Until then, fare you well, folks. We're out.
Be well.
Peace.